So it is possible to learn a language like a baby, and as you know, the baby do not use a lot of grammar. I mean, do not even learn a grammar, right? You haven't ever seen a baby learning how to use present simple, present continuous. They just use it without knowing what they're just using. And there are some people that I know, and the people that I teach English, I don't know where they have learned their English, but sometimes when they are speaking English, they use the tenses correctly without knowing the name of the tense. You can't ask them that, can you please make a sentence which is maybe the past perfect continuous? They don't know how to do it, but they just make a sentence in that kind of tense, and they don't make a lot of mistakes. But, sorry, sorry, but why? Why do they make those sentences if they don't know grammar? So this basically brings us to ask ourselves why the grammar is not important thing in language. I mean, it is, yes, it is important, but we don't have to focus on it as if it is the only thing that we have to learn in a language. So let's talk about how a baby learns a language. Firstly, a baby learns a language by carefully listening to what people say. A baby, before she speak or before he speaks, he first listens, he first understand the sound, the vowel sound that people are just making. Example, if maybe he or she hears other people saying mother or maybe daddy, 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 she understands that, she listens that, but she doesn't speak daddy at that time. All right? She speaks daddy by starting to say da, 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 da. So that is the alphabet that she is learning. And that is the reason why I call that kind of way or that kind of technique of learning language, I call it I don't remember that, but is shadowing method. Shadowing method when you are trying to repeat after a person. So when she or he says da 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 da, she finally say d da d da d. So which means that for you to speak English, you firstly have to listen. You firstly have to understand. If you don't listen carefully to what people say, you cannot even speak. You need to understand a language. You need to listen to the language before you speak it. That is what we call the shadowing method. So that is how basically a baby learns a language. She firstly understands, she firstly listens to the language, and after some time, she ends up speaking a language because she is repeating after the mommy. I mean after mommy, after the after other siblings. That is how basically a baby is learning a language. As I have said when we are starting the video, you haven't ever seen a baby grabbing a pen, writing A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Have you ever seen? No, 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 no. You haven't ever seen a baby doing that. And you haven't also seen a baby learning present simple, past continuous, future perfect continuous. Have you ever seen a baby doing that? No, you haven't ever seen. But why does she speak? I mean, why does she make sentence which is in those tenses? And most of the times you will find out that a baby does not makes the correct sentence without going to school. So this basically means that a language is not taught at school. It is taught somewhere else, not at school. That is the reason why most of the times you will find out that people who just learn a language at school, they don't speak it well. So if you just want to study a language, you have to teach it on your own. If not, you're not going to know a language, all right? So basically that is how a baby is learning a language. So which means that sometimes I speak these kind of things because I want you to get something from that. I want to have the takeaway. But you have to ask yourself why a baby does not learn a grammar, and why does she speak English? Why does she speak a mother language if she doesn't learn a grammar, all right? Or maybe grammatical rules. Why? You have to ask yourself that kind of questions and find the answer for yourself, all right? But let's also ask like us, how can we learn a language without learning a grammar, all right? That is another kind of question that we have to ask ourselves. Yeah, as I have told you, I have some friends. I have some, yeah, let me just call them friends, even if they are my student, but they are also my friends because basically, depending on the time that we have spent, they have been like my friends. So, why do they speak English very well if they have not learned the grammar? Why? Yeah. So for me, I just learned Spanish. I can speak Spanish. Yo hablo muy, yo hablo español. But you're gonna ask why. You're gonna ask that, Christian, you have never been in Spain. You have never been in any Spanish speaking country. But how can you tell us that you speak Spanish? Yeah, that is a good question, and I'm gonna answer it. I have never learned grammatical rules in Spanish, but I can still speak it. But how did I do it? I did that by watching movies, loving the language. Loving the language is the first thing that you need to do if you just want to learn a language. When you love it, sometimes you find yourself every times um, every times in that language, just learning that. What am I meaning? When you learn a language, I mean, when you love a language, sometimes when you find yourself on Instagram or maybe on YouTube, on any kind of social media platforms, you end up searching the type of the video that you like to watch. And YouTube, because YouTube recognize things that you like to search and watch, YouTube will recommend that kind of things, that kind of videos that you like to watch. That is the reason why if I show you my YouTube homepage, you would not even be surprised to see that my YouTube homepage is always popped up with, it is always saturated with Spanish videos, Spanish entertainment videos. Why? Because it is the kind of videos that I like to watch every times. It is the kind of videos that I like to enjoy every times. So which I basically think that if you learn, if you love a language, sometimes YouTube recognize it and it keeps pushing the videos which you like to watch in that kind of language, or maybe if maybe that kind of topic. So that is the reason why loving a language is the first, it is the primary step that you have to make if you just want to make the progress in the language. So for me, I think that knowing a language firstly needs or requires you to love it. If you don't love a language, you're probably not going to be able to speak it. You're probably not going to be able to learn it carefully. So love a language if you just want to be able to speak it. Love it, spend time, spend your long time on it, spend your long time. You can even spend your money. You can even spend your money with things that you like to watch, with things that you would like to 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 have as maybe additional skills. All right. So some people would say that, Christian, you have not prepared. Yes, I've not prepared. This video is unscripted. I don't like to script the video because when you script video, sometimes you are talking about ideas that you have gotten somewhere else. But for me, when I'm talking about, or maybe when I make the unscripted videos, I'm talking about the things which has happened to me, my own personal experience. You don't need to make script if you're talking about your personal experience, right? That is the reason why I have never made a script. So I will make the second episode about this video. I know that you have understood how baby learn a language, even if I have not explained it very well, but I try to explain everything that I knew about the language, like how a baby learn a language without learning a grammar and how you can do it. So thank you so much for watching my video. See you next time. Just wait for part 2. I will explain everything.